What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hu Tao was officially confirmed to be our next 5-star character, and I have not been this excited for a character in such a long time. I've already watched this video, so my reaction wouldn't be too genuine, but when I did, I could not get over how cute she was and how good her English voice actor was. So I was curious, I looked her up, and she is Rem's voice actor from ReZero, and also Narmaya from the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus games. Shout out to all my fighting game watchers. And then immediately after, I went ahead and watched the JP version, and it's just as good. I recently found out that she is also Emilia's voice actor and Megumin's voice actor from Konosuba. Not to mention the video was also released on the 27th in Japan, which is also the voice actor's birthday. I think that's just so awesome. That's so cool. Anyway, just based on Hu Tao's character design alone, I am 100% pulling for her, and I hope that I will win my 50-50. I'm about 25 pulls into the banner, so about 50 more pulls until I hit soft pity, and I really do hope I hit my 50-50. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to open up my wallet, and yeah, it's gonna be the first time I've actually spent quite a bit of money on this game. I also freaking love her little ghost friend because it reminds me of Chandelure from Pokemon, which is a fire ghost type Pokemon if you don't know about that, and Chandelure is also my favorite ghost type Pokemon, so this character just hits so many points on all the things that I love. Now that she's officially confirmed, I have been working hard on doing some calculations and thinking of artifact sets and all of that other nice stuff for when she releases. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at her skills and make some initial on-the-fly analysis for the character. Alright, so here is the official page for Hu Tao. She is the 77th director of the Wansheng Funeral Parlor. Hu Tao. And oh my gosh, she looks so good. Her English voice actor is Brianna Knickerbocker. Her Japanese VA is Takahashi Rie. And we already talked about this, but yeah, these are great voice actors. Pyro, Polearm, and her constellation is Papilio Charontis. Hu Tao is a burst damage dealer, basically the same thing as how they categorized Zhao. Her elemental skill consumes a part of her HP to increase damage dealt for a short time. Her elemental burst instantly damages enemies and heals Hu Tao. We already knew this from leaks, but you know, let's keep on going. I don't think I'll read this except for this right here. Hu Tao, as in who put me in this coffin, and Tao, as in I can't get out. Not funny. No, not funny. Yeah, I jive with this character a lot. I need her. I need her so much. She needs to come home. All right, first thing is her normal attack combo and her charge attack combo. So this is the first thing that they're showing us. I'm going to, let me go ahead and just zoom out here so that we can see this a little bit better. So her normal attack, the Secret Spear of Wansheng, performs up to 6 rapid strikes, but one of them is a double hit, so she's going to have 7 total hits in total. And then her charge attack is a lunging forward move, kind of like Xiangling's, but the animations are obviously top notch and very nice for a 5-star. I freaking love it. It's too bad that we probably won't be seeing this a lot when you're actually playing the game because you'll be animation canceling it, but you know, it's always nice to just appreciate good animation. So that's what we're doing right now. It looks freaking great. Her next talent is her E skill, the Guide to Afterlife, which will consume a part of her HP, knocking enemies back and entering the Paramita Papilio state. This will increase her attack based on her max HP at the time of entering this state. So this can get kind of confusing. Just know that it is her max HP and not her current HP. So whatever your max HP is, depending on your build, is the increase in attack. So the increase in attack is always going to be the same, and it's not going to change as you're getting hit. Attack bonus gained this way cannot exceed 400% of Hu Tao's base attack. Hu Tao's attack is converted to pyro damage, which cannot be overridden by any other elemental infusion, like Chong Yun's ice infusion, so that's not going to override it. And it will increase her resistance to interruption. Paramita Papilio will end when the duration is over or when Hu Tao has left or fallen. So that means if you switch, then your E skill is going to end automatically, and then obviously if you die, it's going to end as well. And then once the duration is up, which is I believe 9 seconds, then it is also going to end. The thing to note here is that it increases Hu Tao's resistance to interruption, and the reason why I think they did this is because sometimes you're actually going to need to intentionally get hit, so they added this so that it doesn't break the flow of your DPS, so that she doesn't flinch, and you know that's going to lower your DPS if you flinch, and then you can't continue your attacks. So yeah, some of her gameplay is actually probably going to involve you needing to get hit by the enemy sometimes because of the way that her healing works and the fact that her elemental skill is only going to take 30% of her HP. So okay, the next effect is the Blood Blossom effect, and this is when you hit with a charged attack, it's going to apply this kind of like blossom looking thingy on the enemies, and it will tick for some damage. So it says here that it will tick every 4 seconds, and that the damage is considered elemental skill damage. Each enemy can only be affected by one Blood Blossom effect at a time, and its duration may only be refreshed by Hu Tao herself. So I think that what this means is that during the duration of your elemental skill, which is 9 seconds, if you apply it at the start, you are going to get 2 ticks. And since it lasts 8 seconds, you can refresh it right before your elemental skill ends to kind of get maximum optimal damage from this skill. So make sure that you use your charge attack at the start and then use your charge attack at the end. And then since this is also considered elemental skill damage, there are some artifact sets that will increase your elemental skill damage. The only one that I can think of right now is the 2-piece Gambler set, so that will increase the damage of the Blood Blossom. But that's the reason why they kind of added this effect there, is because of some of the effects from artifact sets and maybe from other characters that I'm not remembering that can increase elemental skill damage. But that's probably why they added this little blurb to the effect on the Blood Blossom. And also note that based off of the leaks that we've seen so far, the cooldown is 16 seconds, but it begins to refresh as soon as you enter the state, unlike Child. So that means there's only 7 seconds of downtime, whereas Child's is upwards of like 20 seconds or 12 seconds, depending on how long you're in the state. So in my opinion, yeah, this is much better than Child's E-skill. And the last thing about this skill that I wanted to point out is that you can see that we're getting 2 elemental particles when we hit enemies with our normal or charge attack while in this state. So it's unclear whether it's just those 2 that we get at the start, or if we'll get more as we continue to attack the enemy during the duration. Her next talent is her Burst, which is a very high scaling single hit attack that does more damage if she's below 50% HP. So here it says, Hu Tao commands a blazing spirit to deal pyro damage in a large AoE. Upon striking the enemy, it regenerates a percentage of Hu Tao's max HP, and this effect can be triggered up to 5 times based on the number of enemies hit. If Hu Tao's HP is below or equal to 50% when the enemy is hit, both the damage and HP regeneration is increased. So when it says that it can be triggered up to 5 times, the skill has it's somewhere between 10 and 12% healing per enemy hit. So if you hit 3 enemies, then you'll heal 36% of your HP. If you hit 1, you'll heal 12. And then if you get all 5, you heal like 60% of your HP. So that's what this means. So this is kind of interesting because she wants to stay under 50% HP in order to deal her optimal damage. So it's kind of counterintuitive if you're hitting multiple enemies with your ultimate, because you're going to heal too much of your HP, and then when you pop your E skill, you might not be able to get down to 50% HP. So this goes back to the reason why they gave her interruption resistance on her E skill. It's so that you can intentionally get hit so that you can get down to that 50% threshold so that you can start dealing more damage. So yeah, she's going to take quite a bit of brain power to basically know how many enemies you want to hit and just make sure that you are constantly at below 50% HP when you use her E skill. So yeah, this is pretty much everything in terms of talents. So now let's just go over what she is going to need in terms of leveling up and stuff, and kind of just take a look at that. So this is all data mined information, and we are going to need the new Juvenile Jade, which is the item from killing the Primo Geo Vishap. And honestly, in my opinion, level 90 is way too much. Ascension Phase 6 is way too much. I think Ascension Phase 5 is good enough, and in order to hit Ascension Phase 5, you're going to need about 24 of these, which means 12 runs, or what is that? I believe it's 480 resin at the very least. And then you're also going to need to farm some of the silk flowers and some of the whopper flowers in order to get the energy nectar. If we come on down to her talent ascension material, you can see that she requires the diligence talent book, as well as more energy nectar and the shard of foul legacy from fighting child. So if you'll want to get her talents up to level 6 or level 8 right when she drops, make sure you are farming these things ahead of time and grabbing a bunch of these. She is going to be quite expensive in the talent department because you want to increase both your normal attack skill and your E skill at the very least, since they go hand in hand. So that means, yeah, leveling up at least 2 of these talents is going to require quite a bit of farming. So if we just do some quick math, it's going to take 4 plus 8, which is 12, plus another 12, which is 24, plus 18, which is about 42 blue talent books. And then we come down to the purple, it's going to take 8 plus 12, which is 20. So that's quite a lot of farming to do to level up at least 2 of her talents to level 8. And then when we come down to her passive skills, the really big important one I think is this last one, which is going to increase her pyro damage bonus by 33% when she is below 50% HP, which is what I've been saying a lot throughout this video, because this is basically the target HP she wants to be at for her maximum optimal DPS. Anyways, that's pretty much all we have for Hu Tao right now. When she comes out, we'll definitely be diving deeper into her playstyle and some of her numbers, so please keep an eye out for that. And don't forget to leave me a comment. I want to know if you guys are pulling for Hu Tao. Where is your pity at? Are you gonna have to open up the wallet? Because I might have to. Alright guys, until next time, I will see you guys later.